So this week, we thought that we would go a little different than we have in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Kind of got away from the horror genre.
Yeah.
And went less kind of like traditionally what you'd think of as a B movie, you know, the like super low budget kind of thing. And we went more of the like indie, but well-funded B movie route.
Yeah. It's a well-funded film.
Mm-hmm.
It classifies as an indie.
It does.
Which puts it as a B movie because
Yes.
it didn't get a real theatrical release.
Right. And it wasn't backed by a major studio.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not horror. It's not a family film.
No.
And it's not an oldie. This bad boy hasn't even seen its first birthday yet.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of lessons to be learned from it. Because it's not like the kinds we've covered in the past couple of weeks. The lessons are a little different.
Right.
They're not so much the like camera work, lighting, type of thing. It's more of building your network and connections.
It's
and
core stuff.
How to use that. Yeah.
Yeah. That even if you don't have any money.
Right.
It's stuff that you would want to know.
Well, it is.
That can help you.
Yeah.
It's a good example of all of it. All right. Well, we want to get into this?
Yeah. Of course I do.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Hey, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. I'm Jim.
I'm Danny.
And this episode, we have, I don't know, what would you call it? It's not a departure, because it's definitely a B movie.
It is a B movie?
But it is a well-backed B movie.
It is. It has a lot of very well-known people in it.
Yes.
And it's not a horror.
I was just going to say, it's not a horror. Yeah, this one is, I guess we can start off. Well, I don't know. Why don't we just get into it?
Okay.
Then, all right. Take us away.
All right. So today we have Madness in the Method. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This movie was made in 2019. It was directed by Jason Mewes, who many of you may know as Jay of Jay and Silent Bob.
From the View Askew universe.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was written by Dominic Burns and Chris Anastasi.
And I'm just going to interject. Jason did have some input.
Oh, yeah.
He's not credited, but there were several things that I found that he...
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he had a lot of creative input. It's starring Jason Mewes, Vinnie Jones, Jamie Camille, Gina Carano, Danny Trejo, Brian O'Halloran, Terry Hatcher, and Kevin Smith.
And that's not all.
No.
I those were like the ones I thought were important.
Okay.
But yeah, there's like 14 other names.
A lot of cameos. A lot of really well-known people jumped in this. It was not rated, but it would definitely be an R movie.
Some places rated it as 16 plus. Because I guess it's not an MPAA thing.
Right.
But
it's like a guideline.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know the budget for this.
No.
Because it is not publicized anywhere.
Not that I could find.
Yeah. That's the thing about independent films. You do not have to publicize your budget.
No.
Major studios don't have to either, as far as I'm aware, but they do.
It's easy to find.
Yeah.
Because their financials aren't super top secret after a release. Someone can always get to the info and get it out there, but not here.
Yeah. Here is the logline. Legendary stoner actor Jason Mewes is tired of Hollywood's perception of him. Upon advice from best friend Kevin Smith, Mewes tracks down a secret method acting book to reinvent himself as a serious actor with disastrous consequences.
That sums it up. That was a secondary log line that I found because the other one was a little bit shorter. but it didn't quite capture the flavor.
I think you give me the long ones on purpose.
Well, no, I didn't think it was terribly long. It's
So
maybe a line and a half longer than the other one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of these very meta movies where the actor is playing an alternate universe version of themselves, kind of.
Right. It's like a mock biography.
Right.
Heavily on the mock.
Yeah.
As we'll find out.
And we've seen a lot that are like this.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like an actor playing himself, but it's not really himself.
Right.
You know, they're fun.
Yeah.
I like them a lot because I feel like even though it's a pretend look into someone's life, you know, it feels like a look into their life.
Kind of. Well, I think it is. All of these kinds of shows are, to a degree,
Right.
because it's something about them they want to get out there. I know for a fact, and I say this just because I'm 100% sure. Nobody's told me or verified it. But there's a nugget of this that's truth.
Well, yeah.
Right? I mean, this is Jason Mewes' directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you know he's been pegged as Jay.
Well, of course he has.
Right?
You know, Snoochie Boochies.
Yeah. Remember, well, we have a photo with him.
Yeah, we very briefly met him.
Yeah. But we heard people upset that he wasn't done up as Jay.
Oh, yeah.
Wanting to get photos with him. And I'm like, well, I'm not here to, fucking meet Jay.
Jay's a character.
I'm here to meet Jason Mewes. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a character. So, yeah.
And when we briefly met him, he was very calm, very nice, not Jay at all.
No, and that's the thing is people who run into he's super cool, just like Kevin Smith. They're just super, as long as you don't overstep and you're not one of those people who think that these are your fucking playthings, these human beings, just because they've made movies.
Right.
Right. They're really cool because they're like in the minority in Hollywood. Or even independent, because we've seen some independent people who are like, dude, you don't deserve anything. Because they're just such dicks to fans.
Yeah.
But they're, they'll be as accommodating as possible. And nobody's had a harsh thing to say about running into them, Yeah.
Couple of sweethearts.
Well, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long shot. This was more than a Hail Mary. Right? It just... Bam! All of a sudden, something happened, and next thing you know, they're a thing.
Yes.
And Kevin was able to keep making movies and writing them, and money just kept coming in. Well, I'm sure there was work to get it.
Well,
I don't want to play it off, but and then bam, here they are. And as we go through this, you're going to see just how well connected they are.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is like. It's just somebody opened a box of Hollywood and poured it into the bowl. There's just stars everywhere.
I know.
Big parts, little parts.
Why don't you let's start.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get into this. And I put this where I can't fucking see it.
Oh.
Hold on. Yeah. Because, if you're going to be professional about recording something, well, because I jacked this all up for last week's
you redid your mic setup.
Solo recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
this
back,
is supposed
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone had to labor through me doling on last week?
Oh, it was great.
You know what? It reminded me of back when I was doing lectures.
Okay.
Because other than that, I have never talked that long of a straight of time. And I hated giving lectures. Jesus Christ. But you got to do it, to teach.
Mm-hmm.
But I dreaded it. Every, it's a 2.5 hour class, and the first hour is me.
Yeah. I know. And you came out, and I was sitting on the couch, and I was like, just dying.
Well, didn't pick you up though.
That's good.
Well, I could hear.
I was worried.
But the mic didn't pick you up.
Good.
I could hear you out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's jump into this bad boy.
Let's do it.
We open with Jason Mewes doing a monologue in a smoke-filled kind of black and white shot. It's very serious. Reminded me of like a shot like from Eraserhead or even one of those noir films where the detective's just like, oh, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, if I'd have known, I'd have never taken the case.
It was
kind
like
of thing.
Serious gangster film.
Yeah, it was deep. And then bam, we cut to people who are watching him. Mm-hmm. And we see that it's a reading. So the setup was in his head, which is cool. You know, you got to be in there. And the casting director is, you know, like, hey, that was really great. But you read the main character.
Yeah.
And we had you in here for the stoner buddy, right? Not the main guy. And he just basically summarily dismissed Jason.
Right.
You know, Jason's like, yeah, but you just said, I like nailed it.
Yeah.
But
and the guy's like, yeah, but we love you as, you know, Jay.
Yeah.
So Jason leaves, and outside, a guy runs up and asks for a picture with him. And he's like, oh man, you should do another Jay and Silent Bob movie. And Jason's nice enough to take the picture with him, but you can see that he's kind of bleh about the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know? And then he goes into a little monologue. It's like a voiceover monologue, and we get kind of a cartoony background information about Jason's childhood and, you know, his mom and how he met Kevin Smith and they grew up together. And then obviously Kevin Smith made Clerks.
Right.
Jay and Silent Bob became wildly popular. Like, I remember as a kid, you know, in the in the like 90s, you know, Jay and Silent Bob this, Jay and Silent Bob that, you know. It was like the cool alt thing to be into. Well,
it hit big, yeah.
Yeah. And then Jason ended up with some drug problems. He went to rehab, got sober. He became friends with Vinnie Jones.
Right. Well, that's part of the movie. That's not
yeah. Yeah.
You know, just to separate that.
But it's that background thing that he's doing.
Yeah. There were a couple things about his voiceover, though, that we kind of didn't pin on. And I just want to mention that it was really cool because it's true. So he talks about how he met, well, we didn't know about this part, but he met Kevin Smith. He's like, yeah, Kevin didn't want to hang around with me, but I bugged the motherfucker till he caved, basically.
Till he got used to me.
Yep. And then about Kevin going off to film school and then just quitting and, you know, pulling what credit cards he had out of his wallet and making Clerks.
Right.
Right. You know, that was the only other person I knew, and I know a lot of people did it, but the only person that I remember just before that time was Robert Townsend. He made Meteor Man.
Okay.
And he maxed out every credit card. He financed that fucking thing on his own. He wanted to get it done. So that was, you know, kind of cool that was brought up. That's what makes this that bridge between there's some real stuff and then you just weave it into the fantastical shit. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
So after that, we see Jason in a convenience store with Vinnie Jones.
I fucking love Vinnie Jones.
I know. He is just awesome. Tell you honestly, everybody in here is awesome.
Yes.
Right? And yeah, I mean, this was just like...
They're all people that I would want to be friends with in real life.
Oh, absolutely. I would fucking love to just like end up on a park bench with any one of these folks and just, you know, chew the shit for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Would be awesome. So they're in the convenience store, they're yakking, and Vinny's going on about something. He opens up his shirt and he shows Jason a scar of Big Ben that inmates had carved into his chest when he was in jail.
Right. Like London gang members in prison.
And there's really not like a why to it. They did this. And Jason points out, well, they did a really good job. The details and stuff. So then Vinny goes up and asks the convenience store clerk for a fat boy.
Yeah.
You know.
And which is after the clerk makes a comment to Jason about, oh, where's the fat one?
Oh, yeah. That comes up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where's the fat one?
Mm-hmm.
And for listeners, this was done before Kevin had his heart attack.
Yeah.
This was because they were actually finishing this up and working on the reboot something when he has heart attack, and he is considerably thinner. He is. He was getting thinner when they made this. Yes. Yeah, he wasn't at his top form. He'd been working on it for a while. Yeah, but not in the
right.
Yeah, because now he's like, I want to live.
Yeah, and good on him.
Yeah, kind of am. We want Kevin around for a while.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so the clerk, a fat boy, is a firework.
Yeah.
A single firework the size of a fucking duffel bag.
It's fucking huge.
It is. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So then they split.
Yeah. Vinny's driving.
Yeah.
And Jason's in the car, and Jason is on his phone, and he's in this like vicious eBay fight over a comic book.
Yeah.
So they get to Vinny's house, and they get out, and Jason's got to make it to a live podcast with Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like begging Vinny to borrow his car because Jason's license has been suspended and he can't drive. So he can't drive his car.
Right. Which I thought about that, halfway through. I'm like, why are they going on about his fucking license? I mean, if you get your license suspended, it tickled me. That means you can't drive anything, anywhere, at all.
Right.
For any reason.
Right.
It's just not, I'll just drive his car.
Well, yeah.
I know, but this is how he gets through.
But people won't catch him if he's in Vinny's car.
Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I think everyone was out looking.
Right.
That Mewes' car.
All the cops
Motherfucker.
All those fucking Mewes. But Vinny reluctantly lets him borrow the car. Right.
Mm-hmm. And what's cool is because it's Vinny's car, it's an English design.
Yeah.
So the driver, it's
side.
Reversed. Yeah. So next we see Jay's feeling kind of down. He's sitting talking with Kevin, and then Kevin Smith, and then Kevin remembers it was audition day, and then he asks, did they just want Jay?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And Jason says it's Kevin's fault because of Jay. And, Kevin responds that he designed Jay off of how Jason was as a kid. So he's like, so you dug your own fucking grave, right?
Right.
And this is the cool thing. So this is when Silent Bob would speak in films, right?
Yeah.
Is exactly how Kevin spoke in here. Because
that's true. I didn't really think about that.
Because Kevin doesn't act. If anyone's heard him on his shows or on someone else's show, that's Kevin. That's just how he addresses shit. He doesn't sit and, come up with lines with all these things. That's how he fucking talks. And if you've seen his acts on stage, he's just storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how it is. And it was just really cool. So it made it really easy to get into, this is the realism of Jason Mewes' life. Right. So he's like, yeah, so you dug your own fucking grave. And Kevin then goes into a long talk about how Jason needs to amp it up and get into method acting and hit people with some hard method.
Right.
And he starts talking about a book, and he says, the one that Matt Damon told me to read. So he tells Jason to read it.
He points out, he's like, I didn't read it, but you should do it.
Yeah. And I just noted, his whole little diatribe was funny because it was Kevin being Kevin, and he's fucking hilarious. He has a great take on shit, right? And he doesn't go for the low punches and the Jay and Silent Bob humor. He's just a funny fucking guy because he knows how to present hardcore bullshit sometimes in just, a way. So yeah, it's not Jay and Silent Bob humor, although they, talk about a couple of things.
Right.
But this, admittedly, jumping into this, there's a little bit of skepticism.
Right.
What are we going to get? But it was a real dive into funny.
It was.
And that fully locked me into, okay, yep, this is real.
I loved the interaction between the two of them. I liked Kevin pointing out that Jason is a sweetheart. Right. He was like, you're dumb as fuck, but you're really sweet. And
but you gotta be an asshole in this business, man. Yeah. You gotta be an asshole to get it. You're too fucking nice.
Yep. Yeah. And he makes a comment about how they mentioned Brian O'Halloran in their conversation and how he's doing this big Odyssey
he's
movie.
Reinventing Odyssey.
Right.
Or the Odyssey for film.
And Kevin mentions how he was annoyed by, he didn't want to talk to Brian O'Halloran on the phone because all Brian O'Halloran wants to talk about is like tits and shit.
Yeah.
And Kevin's like, I'm 40 fucking something years old. I'm done with that shit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Anyway, back to the movie. I guess we were talking about the movie, so.
A little bit, but let's get into this book.
So immediately Jason is texting the guy with the book that Kevin recommended.
Yeah.
And it's some kind of funny like text over the screen.
Yeah.
Where Jason's constantly getting his name wrong, even though it's spelled out in the text. But he sets up a meeting. It's a big, like, really gaudy house. And the inside is really gaudy.
Yeah.
It's a very loud house. Not in volume, just visually.
Yeah.
And the guy, Fernando, is a big fan of Jay.
Mm-hmm.
He does the little line and they do the little song together. That like put that money in my And it's kind of ridiculous. There's also a creepy woman in there who doesn't say anything.
Right.
The whole time.
Yeah, they have a shot of her coming down the stairs. And I'm like,
she kind of gives Jay the stink eye, or Jason the stink eye.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a unusual tight leather dress to be lounging around. But hey, look at this fucking house.
I know. And then she just goes sits silently. We learn who she is later.
Yeah.
But it's funny. So Fernando brings out the book. It's in this weird, like, ancient looking briefcase.
I know. I'm not going to lie. I was tripping over that.
It was cool.
Like, that's so fucking cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
Yeah. So you almost expect him to pull out this, like, leather tome or something.
Right.
And it's this, like, paperback, almost looks like one of those for dummies books.
Yeah. Yeah. And the yellow with the blackboard and stuff. Yep.
Right. And it's well read. Right? It's the,
Oh, yeah. The corners are all frayed and dog-eared and Yeah,
and it's paperback and the front kind of like curves up. And it's apparently the only copy that exists.
I know.
In the world. And it is called, I'm just going to read your thing here.
Yeah.
It's called Rob Weston's Guide to Method Acting for Prestigious Talented Performers for Career Advancement. I
just want to say, patting myself on the shoulder, I worked hard to get that whole title.
I know you did.
Without having to pause or go back. I locked my eyes on that screen. And I'm like, I hope I'm on the home row. Because I'm just going to type blind here.
Way to go. I got Rob Weston's Guide to Method Acting, etc., etc.
Yep.
That was what I was like, oh, okay, this is a really long title.
Well, luckily they cut to the book like 3 different times after that. Super quick.
Yeah.
So I got like the next word. And then next word. And a couple words.
But Fernando also gives Jay a lot of really weird instructions about how to read the book.
Yeah.
Almost like he's explaining to him like how to do hard drugs.
Yeah, I suppose. I thought it was more like, reading the Book of the Dead. How not to fuck this up. Yeah. There's a certain way of doing it.
He's like, don't read it all at once.
Yeah.
All this really weird stuff. And then Jay goes home and he comes in, he puts down the book and the giant firework.
Fat boy.
Right. So he's still got Vinny's car at this point. And he's been outbid on the comic again, so he's pissy about that. And then Gina Carano plays his girlfriend, and her name in the movie is Carrie. And she comes home and she scolds him about the firework. And then they have really weird sex.
Well, apparently when Jason's been bad, he has to just dress as Jay.
Yeah.
And then say all of Jay's lines while they're going at it. So that's appropriately fucked up.
It was funny though.
It was awesome to see Gina because
yeah,
I
love her.
We love her. Her bit in The Mandalorian was a welcome, wonderful thing, and to see her doing more things beyond what she started with, like Fast and the Furious and stuff.
Right.
I mean, she was awesome in Deadpool. She didn't speak much.
She was really good in Deadpool.
But yeah, she was, especially at the end when she's fighting Colossus. That was pretty rocking.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked 'cause I could talk about that all day. So
moving on. So
afterwards, nope, too much. All I can see is my mic stand.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to fix this for next time. It's backwards, literally.
It is.
So afterwards, they're in bed and he's reading the book, and then he gets up, goes to the computer, and he's looking up.
It's like moviestarrating.com.
Yeah, he's not even like on the list anymore.
He looks himself up and is like, did you type in the name correctly?
He's like, what the fuck? And then he looks up Brian O'Halloran.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he looks up Kevin too, I think at one point. I thought it was in the beginning real quick. And then he looks up Brian. So anyway, yeah, he's pissed off that, they're ranked higher.
He's not even on the list.
Right. Oh, and then he sees something that makes him want to go to the casting director's house.
Yeah.
It was a news thing that
news
popped
article
up.
about him.
Yeah. So he's ready to bring the method, I guess. So he heads to the casting director's house, and he's got his cap on. He's got black leather gloves on. He goes into the house, and he acts like he's going to kill the fucking guy.
Yeah.
But apparently this is a method exercise.
Right.
That apparently was mistaken in its intensity by Jason. And the casting director's shitting his pants. All of a sudden he pulls out a hockey stick and chases after Jason, who's running around. This is a misunderstanding. And there's some throwing of things and some more chasing. Jason knocks out the casting director and he makes it outside, only to discover that his keys fell out of his pocket and they're inside.
Yeah.
So he creeps back in, gets his keys, gets into the car, he starts driving down the driveway, and all of a sudden, wham, this hockey stick comes flying through the fucking side window.
Yup.
And so he's, and then he floors it. And this was fucking hilarious. They cut to a side view of the car, and the casting director leaps out in front, and Jason just, bam. That was a full-on hit. Oh my God. I was like, oh, Jesus. It was super cool.
Yep.
Just fucking crushed him. So now he's talking to himself. So he gently backs up in the car. Boom, boom, backs over the casting director again.
Yep.
He gets out. He's like, "You cool, bro? I think I might have nicked you with the car there." And then they cut to a side shot, and half of the fucking casting director's head is missing.
Yep.
So Jason gets in the car and leaves. And on the way out, he nearly hits a pedestrian.
Mm-hmm.
So he keeps going, and then he starts stressing whether or not the pedestrian saw him.
Right.
Saw, in who was in the car. So then he's at Vinny's.
Mm-hmm.
And he drops off the hockey stick. I think it was his gloves.
Yeah, he sets him down.
Yeah, like he's going to fucking just leave him there. That was my take on it. Like, I'm just going to leave this shit here. And then he looks at the car, and there's blood on the license plate.
Yes.
So he goes up and he gets Vinny's doormat.
Uh-huh.
Comes down and wipes the blood off the plate.
He's doing it with the wrong side of the doormat too.
Yeah.
Not the front side that's absorbent.
No.
But the back side.
Yeah. Well, panic and stress. So then as he takes it back up, Vinny opens the door. Jason says he's returning the car. And then he just runs off with the stick and the book.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And he's like, you could have waited till the morning. It's like 2 a.m. or something like that. Yeah. So Jason is walking home and he sees a liquor store on the way home. And this plays back to the whole rehab thing.
Right.
But it doesn't seem to go anywhere.
I think it was just that moment of temptation.
Right.
Like, man, this is a rough night.
Yeah, that's true. And then he has a really weird dream with like showgirls and the casting director.
It's hard to get into. I think we should just make people watch it. But it's a full on number.
It is.
It was pretty cool.
And then it's the next morning, and there's the news is on, and it says that Vinny was arrested for homicide.
In connection with the homicide of
the casting director.
Yeah.
And then the police are at Jason's door, and they take Jason in.
Mm-hmm.
They question him about what happened to the casting director, whose name is Anthony.
Yeah, I know. I caught it, but I didn't care because I'd written casting director so many times.
That's fine.
Made it simple.
But they're not pressing charges. They're just asking him questions. And then Jason goes to talk to Vinny at the police station. And he feels pretty bad about Vinny getting blamed for the murder.
A little bit.
So he's like, I'm gonna make this right. And he goes out with the intention of talking to the detective and coming clean about it. But as he's doing that, he gets a call from his agent, Gina.
Which is played by Terry Hatcher.
And she's hilarious.
She is.
And she's like, there's this great part. Apparently all the media attention with the arrest and everything has made people think about Jason Mewes now. And so he has a chance for this really good part. And he, instead of talking to the detective, is like, I gotta go. Yep. Bye.
Oh, nothing. Never mind. I gotta say a couple things. One, at this point, I'm resolved to the fact that this is dark.
It is dark. It's funny.
It's funny. And it's hard to explain. The humor is in the moment. It's not like they're blowing out the guy. This guy got killed. It's a homicide, right? But the humor is in the dismissiveness, the selfishness. I also want to say with Terry Hatcher, with all these people in here, though, I love when people do cameos in Kevin Smith films. They play themselves, basically. They cut the shit. Because if you think of Terry Hatcher, right, you're thinking of Lois and Clark. Mm-hmm. And you're thinking of what was the Housewives one? Not it wasn't a reality show, but anyway. Yeah. And even though they can get like raunchy and stuff, because of the tone of the show, it's nice to see people. I don't know what it is, but it just lightens my heart when I see people like Dabney Coleman. One of the things I love about You've Got Mail is just he's this, Dabney Coleman, great actor doing all of his stuff. And there's just that one scene where they're being protested against. And, they're like, yeah, it's catchy, isn't it? He's like, yeah, it pisses me off, actually. And just to hear him say that, just to hear people speak normally, because let's face it, right? For a majority of folks, swearing is not unheard of.
What?
And to just see them be able to cut loose with that,
yeah,
as a character is just really awesome.
It is.
So anyway, next thing is we're at a seedy motel. There's a man tied to a chair and there's blood spatters all over him. He looks fucking rough. And then Jason comes up and he's threatening to kill the dude. And then we hear cut, and it's a production. Mm-hmm. And Jason is playing the killer.
Right.
And then they're breaking for lunch, and the director talks to Jason, tell him he's doing great, that the method thing is really working for him. And you're thinking, oh, well, all right. You killed a dude, but hey,
right.
You're making some progress.
And Jason's looking at him like he wants to kill him. Like he's he's doing the method, like he's staying in character.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So then we have Jason back at home, and he's looking himself up again in Brian O'Halloran. And Jason's now back on the list at 500. Mm-hmm. Apparently that's the cutoff. So he's back in the game.
Right.
Because of whatever he's doing. And then probably the news.
Yeah.
The death and sad. But Brian's at 50.
Yep.
And he's a little tweaked about that.
Yes. And in this, he's friends with Brian O'Halloran.
Right. Yeah. They're because they all came up together. I mean, Clerks, right?
Yeah.
Bam. The foundation for all of them.
Right. So Jason is trying to call Brian O'Halloran. He gets his voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's at this little stand getting a tea or something.
Coffee tea stand. Yeah. Outdoor thing.
And he sits down and Dean Cain in full on hiding from the paparazzi garb.
Unabomber.
Right.
He's got the jacket, the hood, the glasses.
Like a scarf covering his face.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Comes up to him and Dean's being super shifty.
Yeah.
And he says that he's hiding from Superman fanboys because he's afraid that they think that he's actually Superman.
Yeah.
And Dean is telling Jason to strike while the iron is hot, fame wise. This isn't going to last forever. You got to get in the shit now.
Yep.
And then some guy comes up for a picture with Jason and Dean hides under the table.
Yep. Down.
And doesn't come up. Asks Jason to send his coffee down to him.
No. There's one little line I want to say
that
I loved that Dean spoke was that he's like, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. My film's going to come one day. I'm going to be back there. Because you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of getting shot by one of my fans. I'm afraid the last thing I'm going to see is the disappointed face on a fucking fan who just shot me that I'm not bulletproof. That was brilliant.
So later, Jason is getting ambushed by reporters who want information on the homicide case, want his take, because a witness has come forward saying that they can ID the murderer.
Right.
The driver.
The car coming out of there.
Right. And Jason's pretty nervous about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he reads the book some more. He gets some more tips from the book.
Yep.
Which they flash up as kind of on-screen things.
Yeah.
And Jason's going to try finding the witness because the book says to get rid of anything getting in the way of your goals.
Yes. So while he's driving, Jason sees the dude and that he nearly ran over, and here's the witness.
Mm-hmm.
Throws on some fucking leather gloves and starts tracking the guy, right? And all of a sudden the guy, you can tell, he knows he's behind him, so he's trying to elude him. So we have one of those classic, guys walking a little bit faster, and he's starting to duck around corners into alleys between buildings and, courtyards and stuff. And
and Jason's following him in the car.
Yeah. Well,
he has his license back. It's his own car.
Right, but he gets him on, in that courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gets out of the car. He just starts doing his method thing, threatening the guy, telling him that, you didn't see me. The guy says you didn't see him. I thought I saw Vinny. Jane's like, what? Wait, what? And it ends up with Jason accidentally stabbing the guy.
Right.
Okay. So he's not dead, and he threatens to tell the cops. So Jason throws the knife at him.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of, sticking him Hollywood style, it hits him broadside on the head. He's like, oh, what the hell did you do that for?
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy's feeling faint and he drops to the ground. Looks like he's dying from bleeding out. So Jason's about to leave and he realizes that Vinny's in jail. So the cops will know that he didn't kill the witness.
Right.
Shit. So he goes back to the guy, starts checking him over. He's holding the knife, and the guy all of a sudden becomes conscious and sits up and impales himself on the fucking knife.
Yep.
And now he's dead. So
for sure.
Yeah. So now Jason's at the home of what was his name? Fernando.
Yeah.
Fernando. Buzzing the doorbell, and a security guy runs into him. Jason spins a yarn about a Latino group wandering the area. You might want to go check it out. So the security guard runs off.
Right.
That was kind of harsh.
A little context for that, though, which is in their text, Fernando's like, if you see any Latina women out there, don't let them in.
Oh, yeah. So the guard runs off. Jason hops the wall. And inside, Fernando asks what page he's on in the book. And then there was this like the whole back and forth. And I wasn't really sure what it was about. So that was like one part that didn't register with me. But to be fair, I was also doing a lot of catch up because a lot of shit that we just talked about happened.
Yes.
And folks, unless you have 3,500 words per minute typing skills, this shit is hard to keep up with. So it didn't.
We're both really fast typers too.
Yeah. but not fast enough.
No.
But also trying to recount the things. So I kind of lost a little bit of this bit, but I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah. So Fernando knows right away that Jason has been reading the book too fast, and he warns him against it. He says he needs to take a break, slow down. It's going to make him go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was essentially it. There was a little more, but at the murder scene for the witness now, as they see on the news, Stan Lee makes a cameo.
Because, it's his neighbor's yard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was Stan Lee's last film appearance.
Yes. I found that noted. Yeah, this was his last film before he passed.
Yeah.
Which you're sad that he's gone. But I was, when I read that, before I told you, I thought, that's kind of cool though. Because like we talked about earlier, Kevin Smith is the one who put Stan Lee on film.
Right.
Mallrats, and before Stan Lee was Stan Lee to the movie public. I mean, to us comic freaks, he's Stan fucking Lee. He has been for, decades.
Well, yeah.
Right. And that's how he got him, Kevin got him into the films because Kevin is, he's got a shop and he's just, fucking mental about comic books. And so, I thought it was kind of cool that, Stan's swan song was not a Marvel cameo.
Right.
But was just a quick, he ended it how he began it. I thought that was kind of cool. Unintentional.
It is. It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
And so in his cameo, Stan Lee just says a bunch of really mean shit about Jason.
I know. Mewes. Fucking lunatic.
Right. Which is just great. So, Jason and Carrie are back at their house. Oop. I'm back at it now officially.
You're back.
Yeah. Now that I bumped my mic. So Jason and Carrie are talking about a party that's going to be happening.
Right.
They got to get ready for it. And Jason looks himself back up on the website and he shot up in the ranks again. I can't remember what his rank was, but he's
in the 200s.
He's closing the gap to Brian O'Halloran.
Yeah.
Because in order to be in the movie, I think he wants to be closer.
Oh, I think it's an ego thing.
Well, yeah.
He just, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
He was in this and then maybe that. I've been in all this shit.
Right. And then we go to the detective who wants to bring Jason in for questioning again. And he's asking his superior officer for permission to do that.
The police captain.
Right. The police captain. And she's like, no, just leave him alone. He's just a fucking,
stoner.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he gets off the phone with her. And it turns out that she's the woman who's with Fernando.
Yeah. She's the weird, silent.
The creepy woman. Yeah. So that's interesting.
So then later, we're at Jason's, and he walks in, and Carrie's sitting in front of the computer, and she's been flashing her tits to what we think is O'Halloran on the computer.
Right.
And she pulls her shirt down. Jason's like, what the fuck is going on here? Mm-hmm. And she says she was talking to a friend in Europe. They go back and forth. So he buys it and gets ready for the party. And then they get up to the party. They go up to the door. And this is the moment we've been waiting for. The
moment Danny you were waiting for. Yeah. But I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we saw it in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Who walks out? Danny fucking Trejo.
In a hot pink feather boa.
In a hot pink feather boa with this ridiculous vest.
I love it.
Oh my God. If we'd lost internet at that point and we never watched any more of the show, I would have been satisfied. Because I was given my dose of Danny Trejo. Oh my God.
He's one of my favorite actors in the whole world.
Seriously.
He's amazing.
So Danny is concerned that Jason has had some trouble with Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a cameo by Harley Quinn Smith.
Right.
And she's already been in like Yoga Hosers and, done
Tusk.
Done some other stuff. Was she in Tusk?
Yeah, she was in Tusk.
Yeah,
she was a clerk.
Yes.
At a convenience store.
Yes, before.
Yeah, her.
And then she gets questioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was cool, obviously.
Right.
And this is the thing. I'm just going to stop right here, and we could probably said this at the beginning. If you are not a Kevin Smith fan at all,
yeah,
you're not going to enjoy this film. It's not Jay and Silent Bob humor. It's a good standalone movie on its own. Jason Mewes we'll talk more about it, did a wonderful job. And we loved watching this movie, but it's still very much in that realm.
Yeah.
Right? Even the straight humor, like I said, Kevin is a funny fucking guy, just, talking to.
Yes.
On a normal basis, listening to him. But the number of people in this fucking movie that he is friends with and who...
It's crazy.
And that's the thing, man. I don't even know what the budget was for this. But most of these people did it for free.
Or coffee.
Or for coffee or as a favor. Because, he has deep connections. So, obviously, Harley's going to be in it. So anyway, now Jason's talking with Kevin, who points out that O'Halloran is somewhere in the party.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is so typical.
It is.
It's not even trope because it's so true. Right? So O'Halloran is hitting on a woman. And it's a pretty sad sight to behold because you can tell she's just like a nobody. She's just like a wannabe or struggling actress. And he's like the famous guy.
Right.
Right. So his weird smarmy bullshit's working on her. She's like so into it.
Yeah.
And sadly, that's a commentary on a big portion of life in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So O'Halloran, after Jason catches up with him, tells him that he's confident that he can slide Jason into the movie somewhere. He just needs to talk to the studio. And it comes out as they're talking, O'Halloran was just thinking of a cameo.
Right.
So Jason's a little tweet because he's like, he's like, I'll never make that happen. So Jason gets the shit side again.
Yeah.
And O'Halloran leaves. So Jason leaves looking for him. He walks out and then he sees O'Halloran with Carrie. And I guess they're hugging. I thought they were kissing.
Right.
But again, I was in between looking up and looking back.
Well,
to my screen.
And it's also kind of like from the angle that Jason is looking at them, it's a little tough to see but their faces are close.
Yeah. So it looked like they were kissing, waiting for the valet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we are back at Jason's house.
Yeah, he goes home.
The detective is there, and he calls Jason out on having met Anthony, the casting director guy,
right,
on the day that he died.
Discovered that he had a reading.
Right. And then the detective just like kidney punches Jay out of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
And then trips over backwards. There's, a lot of real quick cuts in here. I think they're trying to get,
Yeah.
But then Jason is rushing to his agent Gina in a panic, asking for like quick cash gigs.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He's like, I got this, I just cash. I got something fast. It needs to be cash. It needs to be a lot.
It needs to be now. Yeah. And then we have the detective at Fernando's house, interestingly, outside the gate. And at first I was like, what the fuck? How does he know about Fernando?
Right? Is this a layer?
Right. And I should have put it together because we know now that the his superior officer is Fernando's girlfriend.
Right.
Right. But I didn't put that together. But he's outside and he jumps down the security guard's throat. And that house is the chief's house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
so
caught
yeah, so
them.
it's not Fernando's house.
Right.
Because, my first, like you said, well, yeah, they're dating, but why would he show up at his boss's boyfriend's home? That seems a little, I don't know, a little too much.
It is. It's a little weird.
But it wasn't. It was her house.
Right.
Fernando's the fuck toy.
Yes. Yep. And they are doing some role playing.
Yeah, they are.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. But the chief is very exasperated by the detective coming in and like insisting that Jason has something to do with it. And then the detective is looking at Fernando. And this happened very briefly.
Right.
When Jason met Fernando earlier. When they first met, Fernando saw the way Jason was looking at him and he's like, don't fall in love with me. And Jason kind of like shook his head a little and was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't talk about that because describing it doesn't do it justice.
Right.
But it is hilarious to see because you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But it's a recurring thing. So
yeah. So the
gotta bring
detective's
it up.
here and he now might be falling in love with Fernando.
Right.
So that comes back around and then the detective resists his feelings for Fernando.
Kind of snaps out of it a little bit. Yeah.
And then he leaves. He, on his way out, is calling a judge.
Yeah.
And he calls in the, quote, Mexican favor. And we're like, okay. And then he goes to Vinny and talks to Vinny about Jason and then tells Vinny that he's going to let him go on bail.
Right. He just has to like keep his shit straight. And,
right.
yeah.
But it's very clear the detective's like, I think Jason is setting you up for this shit. And
yeah. He's got a plan.
yeah. Not
like a Dutch plan. He's got a real plan.
Right. I have a plan.
Just trust me, Arthur. I've got a plan.
For our Red Dead fans out there.
Yeah. Fuck you. Not the fans, Dutch.
Right.
So, Jason is out driving Vinny's car again. And as he's going under a bridge, this pickup comes the other way and does one of those, brake slide things, blocks him off. Jason's like, what the fuck, man? What's going on? All of a sudden, Vinny jumps out of the pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And punches Jason in the face.
Yes.
Bam. And Vinny's pissed that Jason was going to let him rot.
Of course.
So he commences to give Mr. Mewes a full-on ass kicking.
Yeah.
Right.
A whooping.
So Jason's trying to fight back.
Trying.
Well, yeah, I wrote he fights back while he tries. Because it's Vinny Jones.
Right.
Right. I wouldn't count my odds super quickly.
Oh, hell no. I would not want to get in a fight with Vinny Jones.
So during the struggle, I think he was pulling something out of the car.
Yeah.
And Fat Boy ended up falling on the ground out of the passenger side. And Vinny is pissed off and he just kicks the thing and it fucking blows up.
Yes.
And then there's just this like blood splatter. Right. And Vinny's gone. And I was like, my God.
Right.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And I think in your notes you had written, is he dead? And I think it was answered probably shortly after you wrote that because they have a shot from inside the car, the windshield and the big chunk of chest flesh with Big Ben carved into it.
Right.
Smacks onto the windshield. Like, yep, he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Jason leaves.
Yep. He just goes.
Yep. So that night, Carrie wakes up to find Jason is gone.
Right.
Not in bed, but there's a lot of like noises So she goes to kind of investigate that, and it's Jason outside fixing the roof, and she's asked him to do this like several times over the course of the movie. And she's like, it's the middle of the fucking night. They argue. Jason says that he's not Jay. He's Jason fucking Mewes. Looks like he's having a breakdown.
Oh, yeah. He's full on reached his limit. Because at this point, I'm just thinking how much darker this shit has gotten. He's fucking murdering people. Well, I guess Vinny was a self-inflicted rage wound.
Well,
I wouldn't call it a wound. Well, I mean, he kicked the big bomb.
It was his own fault. Yeah.
Right? But Jason brought it about. I guess so you could still pin it on him. But yeah, the guy is like the grim fucking reaper.
Everywhere he goes.
He's just like, anyone who interacts with the poor fucking guys.
Right? And then she says that he can sleep on the fucking couch.
Right.
If he's going to be like this. So we go into another one of his weird dreams.
Yeah.
That has all the stuff that he's struggling with in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
In a semi-choreographed fashion.
Yeah.
Floor show.
Yeah. In the morning, Carrie wakes him up on the couch, and the news is talking about Vinny going missing. And they're speculating on whether he's like gone underground with his gang members.
Yeah, they think he went back to London and he's being hidden underground.
Yeah.
They haven't scraped him off the underside of the bridge yet.
Right? There's a knock at the door, and Jason makes a comment, interestingly, that I thought, was weird given his breakdown. And he was like, didn't think it would take him so long,
Oh, yeah.
And he goes out, and it's the detective.
Yeah.
Who's drunk.
Yeah.
And is threatening Jason with a gun. Who's like full off his rocker, this detective. Now.
Yeah.
It's weird. And then he threatens Jason, and he like roughs him up a bit.
Yeah.
And
then he ends up tripping.
Right.
And then he kind of loses his momentum.
Yeah. And he leaves.
Like every good drunk. Yeah. When they get segued that much, oh, go. And then they fucking fall down. And we've all seen it in real life.
Right.
Right. It's all it takes for a drunk to get sidebarred, and then they just go.
Yeah.
Because they've lost their momentum.
Yeah.
So he does.
He does. And Jason looks up at where he was on the roof the night before, and there's a camera there.
Yeah, he put up a camera.
He was installing a camera. That was his real reason for being on the roof.
Right.
And at that point...
Because of his previous ass kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at that point I was like, okay, is Jason going crazy? Maybe. Still?
I think so. Because I tell you what, the best movies about people going crazy, they do the sanest shit, but for the most fucked up reasons. They have that, like, this is all not going to stop, and I'm going to get my ass kicked by the cops again, but next time I'm going to have it on camera. Okay. That addresses nothing of the fact of the fucking, 3 people he's killed.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
And his willful intention, or is in just shoving it off.
Yeah.
I'll let Vinny burn. Oh, now this guy's dead, and well, okay, they won't know. Well, now Vinny's gone, so just fucking let it run.
Right. Anyway.
So now there's we see on the news there's a manhunt for Vinny.
Yep.
And then his Jason's agent Gina calls with some gigs, and he brushes her off. And now he's sitting having a coffee, and here comes Dean Cain again.
Fucking Dean Cain.
I know. I watched Supergirl, right, on Netflix, because we don't have regular television.
Right, we just stream stuff.
Yeah, we just don't have time to keep up with all that shit. So,
no.
But Dean Cain showed up on Supergirl as her adoptive father.
Aw.
Well, and it's great because Helen Slater,
okay,
the original Supergirl,
plays
her adoptive mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
And Kevin Sorbo showed up in it as, I won't get into it, another character's father, and Terry Hatcher was that other character's mother. They were related to Kryptonians, but from another planet who hate them, this whole big thing.
I feel like I should watch Supergirl now.
It's CW stuff, but it's fun.
Okay.
It's fun. And Kevin Smith directed several episodes.
That's cool.
Which, yeah, and they were really good. Good to say. So anyway, so here comes Dean Cain, and he says that O'Halloran is screwing Jason.
Yeah,
screwing him over because at the studio they were interested in giving Jason the lead in Odyssey, but O'Halloran was pushing back.
Right.
So Jason takes off, finds O'Halloran in a restaurant down the road. O'Halloran says he called the studio and they weren't having it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then they argue. Jason starts to lose his shit.
Right.
Gets a little pushy, a little loud. O'Halloran leaves. And Jason takes off and goes to where Kevin Smith is doing a live recording of his podcast.
Yeah.
He finds Kevin out back, the stage door, smoking a blunt. And they start having it out.
Yes.
And this, I got to tell you, this was really well done.
Yeah.
Because this did not seem like script written.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, because that's one thing we labor with is if people are getting into it in our script, we want the argument, the confrontation to seem natural, not amped up for, Hollywood standards.
Right.
Right. This was really fucking well done. So they're having it out. Kevin says that he's watching out for Jason. That he's been watching out for him. He's like, you're not a leading man. And he's afraid that if Jason flopped in a major picture, it would fucking destroy him. And he goes into this big thing. He's like, that's the reason they do the movies that they do. And he's like, there's people are still fucking talking about Tusk and this, and, Cop Out and that.
Right.
And I'm still trying to fucking make movies and this, that. And what was really cool, just another little quick segue, is these parts with Kevin were very real because Kevin Smith will openly talk about his fucking doubts. I mean, just follow his accounts on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. He's constantly worried, that people are just going to shit all over his projects. That's one of the reasons I respect the hell out of him. I like his stuff, but more than anything, he has not once let people fucking slow him down.
Right.
Right.
Even though he does have all these doubts and he, worries about what people will think and.
Yeah. But that's just, that's indie filmmaking at its finest. Yeah. It's just, the one thing that we talk about, just fucking push through. You know what? Fuck them. Mm-hmm. If you have a fan base, you have a fan base. You may never get that mansion in Beverly Hills. You may never be asked to direct, Steven Spielberg's production company's next 20 films. Okay. But if you're making your shit and people go and enjoying it, you have done your job. You have made it. You have brought something to the people. Yes. And they love it or like it. And that's really all you can ask for, Yep. So anyway, this was like raw. And, and then all of a sudden, to make it seem even more realistic, Jason fucking spouts back and says Kevin's movies, don't make money, Yeah. And there's this little back and forth. I was going to pull audio for that, but I thought, yeah, it's all right.
That's fine.
Plus we were super busy. But, and Kevin's just like, fuck off. And what he, I'll let you go.
Well, yeah. And Jason also comes back with, well, maybe Kevin doesn't want Jason to eclipse him. Like, what if I'm in a movie and I'm a big success, and then, I'm a bigger deal than you are. Yeah. You can't stand that.
And that's a very real thing that happens.
Well, yeah.
With people.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And Kevin throws down his joint that he's been smoking, and he tells Jason to step on it. Yeah. Like, power move.
Well, yeah. What did he say? Oh, there was a line in the argument where, maybe Kevin doesn't want this and Kevin doesn't want that. And he's like, well, or, or they're going back and forth. And when Kevin throws it down, he's yeah, Silent Bob wants Jay to step on that or put out his fucking blunt or whatever. Yeah. But it was, I could feel the ball kick. Right. Whoa.
Yeah. So then we have Jason going to Fernando, and he's like panicking.
Oh yeah,
he's like, I read the whole book, like freaking out. He's messed up. And Fernando is like, I've been here before. I know what's going on. He tells Jason that, in his home country, he was a great actor. He was really successful. But he was cursed with everyone he meets falling hopelessly in love with him.
Yes. That made sense of that piece.
Right. And it's super funny. And then we have a flashback of Fernando in the same exact situation that Jason was in.
He's in a car. He's got the book. He throws the book down. And he puts on leather gloves.
He's got leather gloves. And he's talking to himself in the same way that Jason was before he went in the casting director's house the first time.
Yeah.
Before he killed him on accident.
Yeah.
And then Fernando comes back into the car. He's got like a bloody handprint across his face. And he's like, oh my God. And, he tells Jason then that he met the chief of police that way. And she helped him out. And he quit acting to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells Jason that anything in his way of becoming, or he says to Jason as Jay, he's like, anything in the way of you becoming Jason, right, in the eyes of everyone, must be dealt with. And then he gives him a book about explosives.
I know. Explosives for amateurs. Just something
right.
Like that. So.
And I'm like, what?
Oh,
that's not helping.
No. What the fuck goes on in this dark, seedy town that we call L.A.? Man.
Oh, boy.
Glad I'm not an actor. Jesus. It's awesome. So then we see someone writing an email to Carrie telling her to come over.
It's signed Brian.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then later we see Jason is at the apartment after she's gone. He grabs a hockey stick and a nail gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're at O'Halloran's and we see Carrie. Well, we see O'Halloran.
He's watching himself in Clerks.
He's watching Clerks.
Yeah.
And then we see Carrie arrive outside. And then, no, it's not O'Halloran's place. It's some kid's place.
Right.
It's the kid who has been... who Jay's been in the comic bidding war or argument. Well, it's not. He hasn't been bidding against the guy. The guy owns
selling the comic book.
Yeah, he's been dicking him around.
Right. So we realize we've been bait and switched.
Yeah. So we got. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out that
this kid
is the one she was showing her tits to because she's been trying to get this book for Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Because he like hits her up with, well, maybe you just give me a blowjob. And she's just fucking unloads on him.
Right.
Right. It's, oh, and it's funny because as they're walking out, she goes, oh, and by the way, if you don't see nipples, they're not tits. So anyway, at the real O'Halloran digs, all of a sudden the lights go out.
Yeah.
Right. So he's dicking around with a flashlight, finds the breakers, flips the lights on, and bam, there's Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Right, with his fucking stick. Or no, he's got the nail gun.
Yep.
He shoots O'Halloran with the nail gun, and then they start to fight.
A few times.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. So it turns out they're not far from Carrie and the kid. They're outside, and she hears the noise. So she ends up over at O'Halloran's.
Right.
Right. And she and Jason have been bidding on the comic against each other, and that's been the whole problem. She was hugging O'Halloran because she was talking to him, asking him to take Jason seriously.
And put him in the movie.
Mm-hmm. So then they discuss killing O'Halloran.
Right.
Right?
She's like, you were going to kill him?
And then, it's funny because they're talking about, well, but now, I mean, we can't, we kind of have to. And then they do.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And it's great. So then we're in court and Jason's talking and it seems like he's on trial.
Yeah, he's come up against all of his shit.
Right.
Right.
But then it turns out that it's Kevin being framed for everything.
Yes.
And Jason tied everything to Kevin with the joint that Kevin told him to step
his
on.
DNA.
Yep.
Yep.
And the reporters outside are talking to Jason about it, and he's like, cool as a cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
None of this bothers him.
No, he's
where he wants to be now.
Life is good.
Yeah. He'll be playing the lead in the Odyssey. Since Halloran is dead, Chris Nolan is going to direct it. It's going to be great.
Yep.
And then Jason gets into a limo. Outside, the detective is there looking crazy as fuck.
Oh, yeah. He's gone.
Yeah. I'm going to get Jason Mewes. He was behind all this.
Talking to a reporter.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he gets in a car and the car blows up. And we see Carrie
with
walking away from it with the detonator. She gets into the limo with Jason.
Yeah. So then it closes with Jason checking his ranking. It's in his little dark room.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes up as number 2. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So he checks. And who's number 1? Danny Trejo, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we roll credits.
Yep.
Yep.
This was so fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's things that we haven't talked about, like at the party. Casper Van Diem is there. There's so many
a million
people
cameos
in this. Yeah. Oh my God. It is a feast.
It is.
And it's fun because what makes it fun watching it, not just because it's good. I thought it was well written.
It was.
It's not, meant to, tweak the Oscars and stuff.
No.
But it was a fun ride. But what makes it fun is seeing all these people.
Yeah.
Because that had to be fun too.
Oh God.
And that just kind of, adds to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they play some really, not everyone plays themselves.
Right.
Like Casper was not himself.
No.
He was, one of the party guys. Actually, they were the hosts of the party. It wasn't Danny's party.
No, it wasn't. It was.
Yeah, it was their place.
These two guys, and they're arguing about how their famous friends at the party are all leaving.
Yeah,
it's
and just this weird shit, and like, is it because of this?
Right?
It's just, oh my God, it's just really fun.
It is.
I don't know where to begin.
Well, I think that, technically, as far as that goes in this movie, like camera angles and lighting and everything, they had the money to get all of that done really well.
Yeah, this was well financed.
This wasn't someone who's never directed a movie before and was just trying their best to get something together.
Well, it is.
Well,
because this was his directorial debut.
Well, that's true.
Let me just say, on the money front, it had to be substantial because they shot this in L.A. and in Derby, England.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't, all the guys we talked to, I bet, like Hilton,
right.
Anton, I don't even think that ever crossed anybody's mind. Hey, we can shoot in 2 countries.
Right.
Because, we got money. That's not it.
Yeah.
So there was something there.
Yeah. But I think, so getting all of that stuff, like sets and costumes and, getting actors in the movie, like, I don't want to downplay it and say like that was no problem for them, but they're in a place where that stuff is accessible, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Where this movie really shines is in the writing and in the storytelling. And that made it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have to be a fan of Kevin Smith to enjoy this movie. It certainly helps, right?
Maybe. It certainly helps.
Right.
But I think there's a range of humor. I think it stands on its own. I want to say that. Jason Mewes, this is not Jason and Kevin making a film, right?
Right, no.
Kevin was in it and undoubtedly had some tips, but Jason has made enough movies, right? And this is how you become a director when you didn't start out as a director.
Yes.
Right? Kevin set out to be a director and make his own shit. but a lot of people who were directing started on TV and stuff. Right. Ron Howard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He didn't spend, a century going to, he's a little Opie Taylor. And then, as the Andy Griffith Show came and went, then he ended up on Happy Days. And in Happy Days, he really pushed to get into everybody's business.
Yes.
And that's where he learned a lot. He was very curious in the Andy Griffith Show, but, on Happy Days, he was, far more grown. But that's where he got, and look what we got.
Yeah.
Right?
Ron Howard.
We got Ron Howard.
As he is today.
So if you're interested in doing that, you have it all right there.
Yes.
And clearly, Jay saw, and he put it to good use because, this was pretty solid.
Yeah.
There wasn't, it wasn't bumpy. It reminded me, it was almost like it was an ode to the 80s comedies, where there was like some sort of suspense, kind of thing, something like this, where it wasn't camp, right? Because, a lot of the stuff in the 80s, they went campy in horror and other stuff. And then just, Police Academy, just balls out, crazy shit. They went to, humor. But there are some layers here. There are some things that, and you kind of wonder, is he just like imagining the shit between Carrie and O'Halloran? But,
right.
And then you see, well, we don't see her tits because, but we see what she was doing. Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we see that, and then we see the physical contact, and we're like, oh, well, maybe. Because, hey, that's part of Hollywood too.
Well,
stories like, people fucking around on each other and, well,
so
you kind of buy into it, but then, towards the end, okay. So that was the kid. That's a little bit of misdirection, not super deep.
No.
Right. Not Sherlock Holmes level.
No.
Twist, but it was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, like, Jason Mewes knows who his audience is. He has them nailed down to a fucking T.
Yes.
And he put this movie together knowing exactly how it was going to hit with them.
Yeah.
Right? Those are all really good things to know when you're making a movie. Unfortunately, they're not always easy to know.
No. And, he had an advantage because he's had a film career. And he knows, the View Askew universe is out there.
Yes.
They know exactly what it is. They know exactly the podcasts they do and the shows and all the stuff.
They'll
right?
know the nods to all the previous movies.
Yep.
Right.
But this is one of those things that we've talked about, and this is on a grand scale, mind you, but still the basic principle is utilize your connections.
Well, yeah.
Right? Network people. If you're making whatever you're making, or you're starring in whatever someone else is making, make the connections with the people there, right? And then, keep on it. And if they have a connection somewhere, see if they can, you can, don't hone in on it. Like, I want to, just butt in here between you and your friendship with this guy. But, making those connections can pay off down the road. Kevin Smith didn't fucking know anybody.
Right.
Anywhere. Right. These are two guys from fucking Jersey, man.
And, the worst thing that can happen when you're trying to make connections like that is that you can ask someone, for advice or to show up in your movie or for whatever it is that you feel like you need to ask of them. Right. Don't be a dick and just use people.
Right.
But the worst that can happen is that they're like, I can't do that right now, or I don't feel like doing that.
Yeah.
And then you're no worse off than you were before you asked them.
Right. Because it's not an easy thing. Asking someone to show up on set for one day, right, for one little scene, might seem like a nothing thing in a sentence, but it's a big fucking deal.
It is.
Especially when you're talking about people who have other things going, So yeah, I, make those connections, network, because over time that shit can fold back over you and just bring you a tide of resources and things you just won't be able to do, And well, let's Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds reached out to Brad Pitt. I don't suppose you want to do that. He's like, because he was saying, because we could never afford Brad Pitt.
Right.
I mean, nobody can, but he just fucking around. Hey, you want to be in a movie? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, what do you want? Coffee.
Right.
Right. And it was just that little bit.
It was, it was 3 seconds.
Yeah. But Brad Pitt can command 6 figures for that.
He could.
Right. 7 figures.
Probably. Yeah.
That's Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
If I were Brad Pitt, I wouldn't piss outside of your movie set for less than $1 million because I'm Brad fucking Pitt. I'm on the top of my game. To be fair, if I were Johnny Depp, I'd take the coffee.
That's a little harsh.
It's not hard. He's on the downward slide. Nothing good is working for him. He's just personally and in his films, he's yeah. Anyway. So
I think that's unfair, but let's glide past it for now.
Fine.
We'll have this talk later.
Okay. So anyway, let's I so don't want to move on.
No, we're moving on.
Oh God. It's hot in here.
It is hot in here.
Folks, I got to tell you, we're in this office and I mean, with the door open, it doesn't ever get like this.
Right.
With the door shut. And it's our office is the size of a prison cell. It's 10 by 6.
It's real tiny.
But it's got 11-foot ceilings. So you think the fucking heat would be so far above our short ass, heads. And we have the heat vent closed.
You would think so.
However,
we do have foam all over the walls in here, which is an insulator.
Yeah, but still.
And it's just us breathing at each other for a couple hours.
Like 4 more months, we'll have the AC on. That thing will be open.
It is. Yeah, I'm sweating.
I know. I'm dying. My ears feel like they're floating in a puddle of water under my headphones.
I know. And then...
Anyway.
Okay.
So back to it. Making those connections, right? Even if he had to pay all those people rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Because, and that's what happens a lot of times in Hollywood, when you get in that realm where you have backing from people who are professional, producers. Like if Sasha were to back us, I know he would only do it if we did everything on the board. So we would have to do SAG rates. We would have to do the contract rates. If we had anybody helping us with a rewrite or something, we would have to pay contracted rate, which is super cheap compared to, you think, Brad Pitt can get several $1 million. Well, but the on day set thing for a line is $750.
Right.
So there's a huge difference.
It is. But when you're using your credit cards to pay for a movie, $750 for someone for a day is a lot of money.
Well, when you are, out asking for financing from people, you're not going to get tons.
No.
Right. So you have to be very wary of how much you have to spend on certain things, which is where these connections come in and pays off for you because these people understand that.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're not, you don't have, Warner Brothers, giving you $150 million check. You might have $1 million.
Right. You might have 2.
And everyone at that level, all of them know what it costs per day to have a set.
That's,
because you got to pay the crew.
Or they at least have a rough idea.
Well, they get it. Yeah. Because, they know pretty, I wouldn't say super in depth, but I think they know at a more granular level than most people would. Because as actors, they want to get paid.
Yeah. Right.
So I know they get the talk of, well, but the show only makes this much and per day we spend this much on set. So every day you're on set, we're burning out $2.6 million. Right. So that's why we have a $40 million an episode budget. It's like, if we don't have the advertisers, we can't pay you, So anyway, all that. But the other thing is knowing your audience, like you said, is huge. Give them what they want.
Yeah.
Now, I looked, and this was a mixed bag of reviews from public and critics, as you would expect.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
All right. So we got like a bucket of 1s and a bucket of 5s.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just use the 5-star rating. And very few in between. And that defines Kevin Smith's movies and now Jason's movie. And I hope there's more.
Well, yeah.
Because he is good.
He is good.
And I would love to see him do other shit. I mean,
I would love to see him in more than just Jay.
Yeah, I would love to see him act, and I would like to see more direction from him, even if he's not in it, because he's good.
He is good.
But that audience, it's love or hate for that whole universe.
I know.
And everybody in it.
It's hilarious.
Right? So, know your audience. And that's what it comes back to, is when you're putting a project together, you know who you're making it for.
Yes.
Fuck the rest.
Yep.
You have to. Kevin Smith's line in this movie was absolutely right. You have to be an asshole. You have to be able to look someone in the eye at some point and just go, fuck you. You are nothing to me.
Right.
You have to. Your fans, the people who are like, hey, man, what's next? Right?
Yeah.
Those are the men and women that you go through this sloggy bullshit of writing something out or finding something already written and finding the financing and making this fucking nightmare come together into a, coalesce into a production.
Well,
and then see that shit through, and then the post-production, and then push for the fucking release and all that shit. It is hard and heavy, folks. If you think you can just like making cookies, I'm done with the cookie. I just put it in a box or a jar and I'm done. No.
It's not how it works.
It's like having a kid. You have to keep on it. Just for the podcast. I've bitched about it many times. I've spent more time on social media than I have from the day we started this podcast all the way back to when social media began at any level, even on like bulletin boards.
I know.
Modems. Modems. You know what? I can play this in the background. People, if you know this sound, we don't have to listen to the whole thing. It's like 20 seconds. But while I'm talking, you know what this is? Then you know what I'm talking about. This was the internet, goddammit.
Yep. I know. I've heard it. So I hear it in my head.
I know. You hear it. You knew this. You knew when you weren't going to connect because you knew every thing about this track.
Yeah.
Like,
one note was off and you're like, fuck
it. Just pick up the phone, hang it up, cut the modem, hit redial, make sure nobody's on the line. We'll pick up the extension, But anyway, I do it because it's got to be done.
Well, yeah.
It's got to be done. And that's, and this is just a podcast. Pushing a film, man, just because you throw it up on Vimeo and Amazon, look at like Hilton and Kyle. Hilton's still pushing Zombie with a Shotgun hard and heavy every day.
Every day.
And Kyle's got not only pushing that, he's pushing Preacher 6 to get it finished and starting up the Coop.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and still keeping an eye out for like stuff mentioning the chair and, all the other stuff.
Yep. And then Kyle's been throwing out, hey, you want to see Sharon Stone throw me through a fucking window? Watch this one. This is my second professional gig.
Well, and he's on it too. When I changed my Twitter name, I got a direct message from him. Not about my Twitter name change, but he must have noticed that it was a new name as a follower, and he sent me the the message that he sends out. He's like, "Hey, do you want to contribute some money to the?"
Did you answer him?
I didn't. I should though.
You ghosted him. You ghosted Kyle Hester.
I'm sorry. I just don't check Twitter that often. I'm awful.
That's you know what
I'm the worst.
I called him Kyle Heston, but I think what you did was worse.
I'll message him as soon as we're done here.
Okay.
I'll be like, Kyle, I'm so sorry. I'm bad at Twitter.
I love that new handle though.
It's a great handle.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got the connections.
Yeah.
We've got knowing your audience. The direction is sound. So the flow of the movie. I won't credit Jason with the editing because I don't know how much involvement he had.
I don't know.
I mean, there's an edited by credit, and I didn't see him.
Whoever edited it did well.
Well, yeah, and editing is so much easier when you have a good director who can shoot the story for you, and a script that makes the story shooting simpler.
Right.
Right. Everything was top notch. I mean, this was a full on production. There was no anything wrong with the lighting, with the sound, with any of that.
Right.
We've had a lot of shows that hit like the 90% mark, and then there's that one part that just got kind of fucked up.
Right.
Right. I mean, but this was a full on deal.
It was.
But it wasn't studio.
It wasn't backed by a major studio.
Right. And it wasn't backed by major distribution, because this came out August 2nd was its premiere. It was a very limited release. I think it was a per date kind of thing. It wasn't out. It didn't hit too many theaters. Certainly didn't, hit us like nothing ever
here.
Fucking does.
This belly button of the world.
I know. Well, I guess the distributors, their, long seeing glasses stop at Utah or some fucking thing like that. And then from New York, it stops at like Ohio. So yeah, we're in the fuck you zone.
Well,
Anyway.
But yeah, and it was a simple story.
Mm-hmm.
But in the storytelling, they added a lot of like layers and nuances and stuff that were really interesting.
Yeah, because from the log line, it's just, this is a story about it. It's a mockumentary, or mock biography.
Mock biography, yeah. About a guy who wants to be taken seriously.
Right, and like I said, we've seen several of those before, and they're all kind of the same in that regard.
Well, yeah.
That, but that's what makes them fun, and it was. But dark, goddamn.
A lot darker than I thought it would be.
I didn't think it was going to be dark at all.
Well, no, because you see, and you're like, it's a Jason Mewes movie. How dark could it be?
Well, it's a
Turns
comedy.
Out. Right. Yeah.
Jesus. Tell you what.
It's funny because when we were at the beginning of this podcast and we were like, it's not a horror movie, for a second I was like, but kinda. It's not a horror movie.
No, it's just brutal. I tell you what though, we'd mentioned before people we'd love to see direct like Plan Z. Kevin Smith. I'd have Jason in a heartbeat.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He's got it down. He knows how to pace that shit.
Right?
And he knows how to bring the comedy.
Yes.
From a director's standpoint. And from, obviously the acting standpoint. And we've said that before. Not every director can direct every kind of film. We've seen some major fuck ups by some major directors.
Well, and not every actor can be a director.
Well, and vice versa. And, the whole thing. But comedy is hard.
It is.
No matter what level it's at, it's hard. Again, which is why we steer clear as much as we can, because we know that's not us.
Right.
Not us at all. But he knows it, and it's important. You can have the funniest actors and the funniest setups, but if you don't know how to shoot it and visually capture the story for the audience, you fucking lose it.
Yeah.
But this was the cuts, to this and that, and the way things happened.
This is hilarious.
The tempo, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
It really was.
So, yeah, those are the major lessons, I think, is like, connections.
Yep.
Make the connections.
Network people.
And
Network.
like use the connections. And what was the other one that we teased out here? I just had it in my
audience.
head. That was the one. Yeah.
And that too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. And with both of those, with knowing your audience, reach out to your audience, engage them. I mean, we have social media. Yeah. Much as I think it sucks, it is a platform to say, hey, come on, come back to me.
Not everyone's terrible at Twitter like I am. A lot of people won't answer your messages.
Yeah, they won't ghost you like that.
I'm really sorry, Kyle.
Anyway, ignore the people who hate on you. And because, that's the thing about social media is 10% of it's true. The rest of it's just, fucking posturing. And some people like overblow it. It's like, well, nobody can love my work that fucking much. You're being a little ridiculous. They're midgifying it.
Yes.
super dramatic. But stick with the folks that hey, I thought it was great, but man, I just don't know about this. That's valuable fucking feedback that you won't get anywhere else. And also reach out to people, ask them. I mean, we reach out, and there's going to be some more folks I'm going to be reaching out to for the interviews.
Well,
any one of these people could have said, get fucked. Yeah. I mean, like, who are you? Well, I'm a guy who sits in a room with his wife, and we do a podcast about movies that we watch, and we talk about them. Mm-hmm. And we liked yours, and we like to talk to you about it. Now, we have been very lucky so far.
We have.
Because we had some great, they're great people. But we're going to run up against the one who's like, I don't want to fucking talk to anybody.
It'll happen.
I don't want to waste my time. Cool, whatever, move on. Mm-hmm. But, do it. Take those chances.
Yeah.
I think
that's the worst that can happen is that they're like, no.
Because it goes back to what I said before. You know what? Fuck the haters.
Yep.
Do your work. Write, direct, produce, dream. Go for it. Mm-hmm. There's might be shit that we hate. We've got one movie that we absolutely, I don't even want to mention its name, that I fucking unloaded on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of movies that we've covered that we both were like, this was awful.
Well, there's difference between awful and what I did with that one.
Yeah.
But last week's was, I gave the credit. I mean, you didn't watch it. That's the thing.
That's true.
Because you were so sick.
I know.
You didn't even watch the movie.
I was dying for a whole week.
Well, yeah, I explained it in the episode that you were both down. You and Lily were just God.
It was rough.
And folks, I don't know. Hasn't got me. I think I'm past it.
Is there any wood in here to knock on? This is wood.
It's veneer. Oh, no, that's wood. Yeah,
I did it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were knocking on the table. Okay.
Whew. Superstitions don't hurt anybody.
Oh. Well. All right. I think it's time to tell everybody to go to our website.
Yeah.
www.lordsofmisruleproductions.com. Check everything that's out that's there. We have our blog, which the episodes post in the blog, and then I have a separate page for just the episodes, just because of the fucking way WordPress is set up.
Yeah.
But in the blog, there's some entries here and there. We don't
write those posts I've been meaning to write.
Yeah, well, I've got a couple up there.
Yeah.
Like I put the Taddy Bogle artwork that Chris sent us. Woo. I put that up because that was awesome. Awesome for him to send that to us.
It is.
And anyway, we do try to get stuff up there. Mm-hmm. It's we don't have all day to think of shit that might be interesting, so we wait till something really interesting happens,
and then time to write about it.
And get it up. But yeah, anyway, on the website, we have that. We also have links to all of the podcast platforms that we're currently on.
Yes.
You can click on those to subscribe, hopefully on your favorite platform. We have our social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Yep.
We have the links to all those. Check those out.
You can find our Patreon page link there.
Yes.
Or you can go straight to patreon.com/Bravo for the B-side, all one word.
Yeah.
To find us.
Easier to go through the link, folks.
It is.
Just easier to go through the link. We'd love it if you'd at least take a look. We post episodes there as well. Right now, they're a day early. I'm thinking of making
patrons get early access.
Yeah, I'm thinking of making it a week early.
Oh.
But because we're 2 weeks ahead, see, now I'm trying to schedule 3 different episode things go, and I'm gonna end up fucking one of them up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll bump it up.
For now, it's a day early.
But yeah, I'll work. If get some people to chime in.
Yeah.
Say, hey man, a week would be cool. Hey, you know what? You're a patron. I'll do it. I'll get it going. All right. If we hear from that whole thing, got to reach out. Not going to say fuck you.
Well, no.
Clearly, but yeah, I mean, there's no limit to what we can do there. It's just got to be worth the time.
Yes.
lordsofmisruleproductions.com, links to everything you need to find all of our stuff. Also email links.
Yeah.
If you want to just drop us a note and
reach out to us.
Yeah. Let's hear from you. Same thing on social media. You want to, tag us. Um, if you reply to a tweet, I have a hard time finding that in the timeline because of it's so fucked up. I'll set up a tweet and then I can't find the fucking thing. I'll do it like right now and it won't show up on my feed. It's like 7, 8, 9 screen flips down and above it's all shit from an hour ago from the people that, we follow.
Oh.
It's just the way they did it's just fucked up, So if you want to DM, you got to follow.
Yeah.
To, DM and stuff. But, if you reply to something, I'm not ghosting anybody. I'm not picking on you.
You totally are picking on me.
I am not picking on you. I just don't have time. I try to catch everything I can, but it's just such a convoluted mess. In the meantime, you can catch up on past episodes and check them out and not just listen to the episodes, but watch the movies that we are talking about. That's really what this is all about, is to get people to, go back and watch these films, because some of them are not new. Some of them are, decades old, but they're good, and they're good watching. Number one, they deserve to be seen. Number two, if you're involved in the business, then, there's some lessons, the good examples of good filmmaking. You don't have to always go for like the Criterion Collection, high level stuff, Oscar winning things, just watch the everyday, especially indie stuff, how people do it. So Danny's had to step out because, even though she's better, still there's been a lot of talking. So, I'm going to go ahead and close this out for everybody. Thank you for listening. Check everything out. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Keep doing what you're doing, and enjoy those B movies. So, okay, B-siders, until the next episode, keep watching and keep doing it. We're out.